art, the value of public art, what the artist needs to do is to create a beautiful form that when people come up to it and explore and experience it, it's a transcendent experience for them. It changes the nature of how they see the space, how they see the piece of art, how they see themselves in that space. So the call for artists was interesting for me as a sculptor, because what the city of Coeur d'Alene really wanted was something that was potentially a gateway sculptural form that incorporated the history of the space, the development of the space, and the reality that this is going to be a central part of our community. In the beginning, when I was thinking about Trilogy, I was really considering, I think, the intersection of different groups of people that would be seeing it, but also the people that were important in terms of the historical significance of the space. So the Coeur d'Alene tribe, the future students of this area, the people that live in this area, that celebrates that, but also creates intertwining of those different kinds of communities.
So public art really is the manifestation of the creative process. In making Trilogy, kind of in a nutshell, the process is conceptual drawings on my part, coming up with an idea, proposal process, getting shortlisted and making the maquette for that aspect of the process, and then the fabrication of the piece itself. So that includes the armature, the steel armature of Trilogy.
Element on this bent element, so I just wanted to show the process of how I'm using this, because I'm using pipe to do it. So it's about 7 inches there. That's enough just to take a little bit of the bend out. Lay the paper over it, and then I take a pencil and draw a line around the outside of where I'm going to go. Then selecting the granite boulders, installing the granite boulders. And then cutting the plexiglass, cutting plexiglass. Aluminum, and having it powder coated.
One of the most predominant elements that we all respond to is color. So my intent with this piece was the feeling that you have on a fall day when all the leaves are changing and the sun shines through them and they are electrified. There's something that's so beautiful about that, and it's something that's so comforting about that. And I wanted to make sure that the piece had that quality, that when you saw the piece, you felt uplifted and you felt energized by it. So the figurative elements where they're shifting and moving, and the color then, I think, connects to a broader sense of nature, a broader sense of our relationship to those beautiful fall days.
On the day of the installation, it was just amazing how many people came out to help me install the piece, friends. You know, these people gave their time and their energy to help install the piece. And you know, it's not just because they're my friends, but it's also because they care a lot about public art.
I'm very fortunate to live in a community where I have relationships and friendships and connections to people that are very skilled at what they do.
And I really appreciate their expertise and their time and just their willingness to be supportive of that process. So when people see public art, what they're looking at is the is a journey by the artist. It's the manifestation of all that creative work by a lot of people that help the artist to realize their vision.
When you're standing in front of Trilogy, the sculptural form to the left, your immediate left, really is a celebration of the tribe, the Coeur d'Alene tribe. In terms of the color, going from the earth to the sky, a movement upwards. I used motifs that are related to the formal ceremonial dress, and I did some research on that to try to see if I could find specific designs. The quill forms towards the top, the feathers at the very top of it are all meant to connect to the history and the celebration of the Coeur d'Alene tribe. The piece on the far right really deals with educational corridor. And so what I try to do in that particular piece was to incorporate the notion this is a space where people are learning, developing, growing. And so I interwove elements seen as connection to the idea of education. So Roman numerals, Greek letters. The very top of the piece is the word ovirpa, which is Greek for to dream. And so my thinking on that is people are here to better themselves, to improve themselves, to educate themselves. The central panel then is really the idea of all different communities. And so it's a celebration of all the motifs that I've used in both of the adjacent sculptural forms in a way that allows for the sense of movement upwards. So at the very top of the piece, there are circular forms. They're almost figurative, if you will. So little figures on top of the figure. They're dancing forms. The whole central panel is really supposed to incorporate that whole idea of the energy and the excitement and the celebration of a vibrant and creative, energized community. Public art benefits the community by creating a visually rich experience living in the community. We provide an aesthetic response to the day-to-day experience of navigating the city that you live in and being able to bring to their lives a moment of presence when they see something unusual. Maybe they see something they like and they come back to it over and over again because it just makes them feel good. They just think it's beautiful. That's important. That's really, really important in terms of how we live. I take it very seriously when I do a piece like that because I recognize it's not just about what I want to do, but what I'm given is an opportunity to communicate something of beauty that's sometimes even beyond my own capabilities, actually. The relationship between the form and the space creates a third experience that I sometimes really just don't have control of. It's what everyone brings to it when they're engaged with that. We all need that sunshine coming through the trees and the sunset and the birds sitting on the fence post. We all need moments of beauty in our lives, and I think public art at its best does that. It brings beauty to us closely.